can kind of hear something there. There we go. Bro. How you doing, man? Yeah. Oh, you're wearing a tank top. Okay, cool. It looked like you were just topless for a second. I was like, here we go. Drip, drip, rip, and dip, dude.
Hell yeah.
So, tell me about your experience. And I'll tell everyone about a personal cure that I may have found myself at the end of our chat here. But tell me about your experience with ulcerative colitis, because as I mentioned, a lot of people are suffering from it, and we want to know how people have overcome it in the culture.
Yeah. Actually, ulcerative colitis is it's actually a big thing. I mean, a lot of famous people have it. GSP from the UFC has it.
A lot of girls have it. Girls get it earlier than us, I think. I saw that somewhere. That a lot of women have it. Maybe more women have it, and they get it earlier. But I don't know. That could be bowel syndrome too. And I had no idea.
Yeah, and it walks hand in hand with Crohn's disease. And I just learned that Mr. Beast has Crohn's.
Wow.
Yeah.
All these autoimmunos, dude. They're messing up. Yeah, it is hurting the culture. And I guess it is a little bit of like, what do you think of this? Because I know like peanut butter allergy goes into conspiracy territory where people are like, well, in Europe, they don't have peanut butter allergy. So what are we putting in the food supply? What are we putting in the water supply? Like, do you think it's something like that?
I mean, it's possible. I mean, we're a nation that lives off of processed food. You know what I mean? Right. But so
sorry, is this gross for people? I'm sorry. Like I just pulled up this stuff because this is very important for the culture. Dude, look at this one. It's showing a kid with red spots on their feet because they got colitis. Has this ever happened to you? Because I've never gotten. Mine's all inside issues, I think.
I went through hell.
Oh my
right.
God.
So I got mine back in 2012, 2013. At the time, I was I'd gotten in trouble for a fight in Massachusetts.
Wow, you used to
for
fight
a little bit.
Okay.
And while I was incarcerated, I remember everything was cool. We were in the pod, just hanging out, and
Bro, you went to jail?
every other Saturday we would get chicken on the bone. So as soon as the chicken on the bone came, we would all throw in to have a big meal, and instead of eating the food when they serve it to us, we would have just like a big meal with the whole block. And I remember eating the chicken on the bone, and it hit me different. And my stomach kept hurting, and then I kept having to use the bathroom, and then it got to the point where it wouldn't stop. It turned into liquid, then it turned into blood, and it just would not stop. I would not stop using the bathroom. I would literally have to sit there on the toilet all day. And in jail, you can sit there and put in slips to go see the medical, but they don't come until whenever they feel like it.
This is wild when someone tells a story and they're like, so let me tell you about my ulcerative colitis. So I was in jail. It's like, dude, the jail is almost like we need to have a whole thing about that. Like, How old were you when you were in jail? And like how old were you though?
I was from 22 to 27.
This is unacceptable, man. At that age,
fight.
You hit someone.
No guns or anything like that. Just a regular fight, fist fight.
Not a mercy.
So you really,
right?
Did you hurt them? Like, did it look bad? Like, remember how come the baby just beats the shit out of people, puts it on his Instagram? Have you ever seen that?
And he's fine, but as an average Joe, especially when you're in the state of Massachusetts, like I was born in New York, lived a little bit in Massachusetts, and now I'm in Ohio. But as an average Joe, working, doing what I think is the right thing, trying to be a father,
wow, you have kids.
You get tossed into jail.
So you had a kid, and when they put you in jail?
Yeah.
This doesn't get taken into account. You have a child. How old is the kid?
They don't care.
How old is the kid?
So So I'm putting in slips to go use to go to the medical, but they don't see me, and I'm like stuck in the toilet. It's getting to the point where I'm starting to get really skinny. I'm starting to feel really woozy. I'm doing nothing but using the bathroom and dropping like pints of blood.
22. Oh my God.
So eventually they come to do they came 3 times a day to bring in the medications for everybody.
Okay.
Eventually they come in medication. My celly's like, listen, I can't even use the bathroom. Like, it was really becoming a problem where my celly couldn't do anything in the room. I was stuck in there all day.
Were you farting?
We would lock in and have to use a sheet to try and divide the bed from the toilet so I can just sit in the toilet all day. And they started complaining or whatever, and the nurse didn't fully believe it. So instead, what she ended up doing was coming to the bathroom and seeing the toilet full of blood. So it was a big whole thing. They finally grabbed me, brought me up to the infirmary, and I remember they were like, okay, this is too much for them to handle, so they had to send me to an outside hospital, which was the Lemuel Shattuck Hospital in Jamaica Plain, Boston. And I go out there, and they had me drink like the saline drink to clear my stomach and everything. It was disgusting, and
it's so disgusting. I've had that, dude. It clears your stomach, and then your stomach is messed up for like 3 days, 4 days.
Yeah.
I've done that. It's so bad for you.
And they had a colonoscopy on me, and I remember they were like, "Hey, listen, we can make it so that you don't feel it, or we can knock you out." I'm like, "Knock me out."
Okay,
I
good.
Know anything about it? I just remember they wanted me to count from 3 to 1, and then they were waking me up, and I felt really, really woozy.
Yeah, same.
The biopsy went out, and it came back, and they were like, "Hey, you got severe ulcerative colitis." At the time, I'm still not done. Like, I'm still stuck on the toilet all day. It took probably a week after they sent me to the hospital. So they're like, "Oh, well, we need to put you on this medication called sulfasalazine, which would help it out and everything." So I'm taking the sulfasalazine after they finally diagnosed me, and I feel weird on this drug. Like, my stomach is constantly hurting. I'm still using the bathroom, just slightly not as much. And like, I felt like my hair was falling out.
Wow. My hair did fall out, I think. A lot of people are like, you're not really bald. It's like still grow. It's like patchy. It's not like male pattern baldness, but it could be that because, dude, I bleed. Like, everything you're saying, but sorry, continue, man. Everything that you've gone through, me too, but not in jail. So I'm so sorry for that.
So it gets to the point where I get so sick I can't even get out of bed, but I'm still taking this medication. I start growing ulcers in my mouth, sores that I couldn't even swallow. My throat was starting to swell up.
That's why I don't take the medication.
I started flaking on my skin, and it was so bad I couldn't get up out of bed. So the nurse comes one day to give me my sulfasalazine, and she comes to my cell and she looks at me, and she's staring at death. So she automatically calls in for me to get automatically sent to another hospital. When I go there, I get admitted for 3 months, saying that I'm going through Stevens-Johnson syndrome, which is an allergic reaction where your body starts to shut down. Turns out I'm allergic to the drug sulfa, which is the main ingredient in sulfasalazine.
Oh.
Yeah, so these guys
Western medicine, brother. It's a scam. It is a scam. It's so scammy, this Western. It's ridiculous. It's like worse than the treatment. I mean, worse than just having it. That's why I've never taken it. But continue.
So then they're like, oh, okay, well, they said that it's a lot of trial and error, and they had this other pill that would help called balsalicide. This drug does absolutely nothing. I actually come out worse because I'm stuck using the bathroom even more. And at this point, there's nothing formed. It's all just liquid blood.
Yeah. I know. No, I have that. Dude, I have that right now. Like, I mean, it just comes when it comes.
Killing me.
I'm in a flare-up right now. It's terrifying.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
The flare-ups are the worst. Right now, I'm in remission.
I've been in remission for years, dude. One time, I swear to God, like last time, I broke up with a girl, and then like 2 weeks later, remission. And I was like, well, obviously. Or it's like the next day, it was like so
telling
close.
You, it's telling you.
Clearly, she was stressing me out. That's my jail. Like,
so,
yeah.
So then, the balsalicyte, I'm telling them like, yo, listen, this isn't working. So they do another colonoscopy on me. And they're like, oh, hey, his ulcerative colitis is getting worse. So now they diagnose me with severe ulcerative colitis. And they're like, listen, if we don't get this under control, we might have to put you in a colostomy bag and cut out a piece of your intestine. So I'm freaking out. I'm like, you're not putting me in a shit bag. Like, that's not happening.
That's why I didn't go back, man, to do the check, because the check, they can't do anything with it. And it's like, you take this thing that, well, I forgot what the drug is called, but you take this drink that makes all your gut bacteria go away. So your stomach's killing for 2-3 days before or after. It's like really bad process. It's not good for you to shove this thing up your ass. But like, also, they're just like, yeah, you have all sorts of colitis. We don't know how to do anything about it.
Yeah, and I'm swearing up and down that it came from the chicken from the prison. I'm like, I'm gonna sue the prison and this and that. And they're trying to explain to me that, hey, listen, we don't know what's caused it. Yeah. It could have been caused by stress. It could have been caused by anything.
Gabor Mate says trauma, but it's not. I don't know how scientific that is, but it could be. I don't know. I mean, you're in jail as a 22-year-old. It's not natural, man.
And on top of that, they're also affecting my psyche, because they're sitting there telling me, oh, this is hereditary and it's permanent. There's no way to cure this. We could only lessen the symptoms.
Damn.
So they decided they want to take a more severe case.
Man, I just feel like I'm too beautiful to have shit problems. I'm just looking at how beautiful we are, both of us. We're too beautiful to have these shit problems. Too beautiful. So, what a waste. Oh, sorry,
so they decide they want to take more extreme measures, and they figure out they put me on a transfusion machine called Remicade, which is what Mr. Beast is on now.
My friend's on that. Yeah, I know a comic in Toronto who's on that. And it's $4,000 a month, and it's like you have to pay $4,000 a month because in Canada they cover the medical side, but they're like, we're not gonna pay for the drug. So whatever drug company's like, it's for
So so they hooked me up to the machine. It's a 3-hour process.
Oh,
every 2
month.
weeks you gotta sit there while this thing is in you, sifting through your blood, pumping everything out, right? So I go through the first trial through it, everything's fine. The second time they bring me back out to the hospital to hook me up. As soon as they hook me up, I can feel my lungs swelling up and I can't breathe. So I'm telling them, hey, I can't breathe, but it's coming out as a whisper. They're quickly trying to shut off the machine. They gave me a shot. My throat starts to de-swell, and they're like, well, this happens because Remicade is part human and part rat. And I guess the rat part wasn't suiting well with my body. So my body was rejecting it.
Yeah.
So they go, we have one last thing that we want to try before we before we tell you that, hey, we're just going to have to give you a colostomy bag. So I'm like, all right, I just don't want this bag. I just don't want this bag. So I'm willing to do whatever. And I've already gone through 3 months in the hospital through Steven Johnson syndrome. I've already tried all these different types of pills. I tried Remicade now, which obviously is a transfusion, and nothing is working. So I'm freaking out. Like, what the hell did this jail do to me?
Yeah.
And finally, they're like, there's this drug that's been helping out people for the past 10 years. It's called Humira, which is it's like an EpiPen type of drug you take every 2 weeks.
And you got to jam it in. That's the only way. Why can't we just have a regular injection?
Jam it in your thigh. So
suffering one way or suffering another way, brother. I mean, what's the EpiPen?
But I will tell you that the Humira has been like a wonder drug for me. It's brought me back to normal. I haven't even been like stuck using the bathroom, and it's brought me to the point where I'm in remission. And now it's just a memory I'm always thinking about. I mean, there's still some times where it's just like I'll have formed poop, but it would be like just a little bit of blood here and there. But other than that, it's just like just regular life. So I'm just like, okay.
That's amazing.
But it was just such a wild story just to get there. I was so freaked out. Even now I'm still on guard. Like there's going to be a situation that puts me back in the hospital.
Oh my God.
So many medications I can't take.
It's crazy because I'm freaking out, but this is what old age is like for everyone. Like it does come for everyone. It's just sad that you got that's a lot that you got at 22. But old age meaning like as shitty as I feel, I should just get used to this feeling, because whether it's now or whether it's when I'm 60, something's gonna hit and you have to face suffering, even if it's just the final a year or 2 years of life. I feel like we almost look at this side of ourselves and the whole community that like we all die eventually. It's just like we just don't want to think about it, I guess. You know,
definitely.
Like poop, I guess. You know, you just want to be like,
it's so crazy too, because mind you, I'm 34 now.
Yeah.
And I've been living with it for, well over 10 years.
Right.
But I still think about like, oh, can I go out and do this? Will my stomach be hurting? Am I going to be in a situation? So
wow,
it's like it changes your whole outlook.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean it changes your life. Like when you have to, like as a man, I guess women have this at like 11 or 12. Like when they get their period, it's like, okay, there's something bigger than you here. You know what I mean? It's like they get hit with that at like 11, 12, and then they're kind of used to it. They mature faster, I think, because of that. Guys, like it's like, no, I do what I want when I want. What's this? Yep. And this is like the hardest thing for senior men. And my dad was like, that was the hardest thing for him. It's just like, nope, he had a hard time. Just enjoy sitting here and just being taken care of. You don't get to do shit now. You don't get to do this, or like you have to take this medication at this time, or you have to get on this machine. Like they just, the suffering comes.
That's exactly how I feel. That's exactly how I feel. And it's just like I'm one of those guys that want to run out to the woods and chill outside. I don't want to be stuck indoors, but I also have to realize that I have to recognize that there's a huge possibility that I would need to be close to a bathroom, or I would need to be able to make it to medical if something happened.
Yeah, I don't worry about being close to a bathroom. My stomach starts hurting like crazy, probably like 20 minutes before. So I can always get to a spot. But it's just giving me a good early signal. It's like, it hurts like how girls describe their period hurting. And then I bleed like crazy. Dude, you know what? I'm transitioning, dude. I'm like, that's what this is. It's like, you now be a woman. Suffer with them too. That's what this is. You know?
Yep. And that's what I'm saying. And it's like,
ulcerative colitis.
I'm scared because they're also sitting there and telling you that it's hereditary. You can pass it to your children.
My dad had it too, yeah. But my dad had it pretty chill. Like he fainted once when he was in India. He lost a lot of blood. His flare-ups, he had some bad flare-ups, but overall, like he went through his whole life without doing anything for it. Like nothing. Just always thinking about like, oh, I'm eating raw now, or like I'm trying some new. But then he was always trying like weird shit anyway. So it's hard to tell what, if any of it was working. Pretty classic Hindu, I heard an Ayurvedic doctor today. I heard a Christian, mystic talk about this tree bark that cures arthritis. He also had arthritis too. So, no, as we get old, all the sufferings will come for all. So, like, I think one big key takeaway from this is like, it's nice to talk to someone else who has it, because nobody wants to talk about it, and then I'm suffering alone. But now we suffer together, brother. You in jail, me in the jail of my ex-girlfriend, but still these traumas hurt us and we developed this or something. I don't know what it is. Oh, I'll tell you my cure though, and tell me if this works for you. I just started this week. Like, stay tuned. I don't know if it works yet, but it feels like it's working. Yogurt, just yogurt. My roommate's like, just yogurt, because the reason why this thing is happening apparently is because there's a bacteria missing in us. So there's a bacteria that's eating up some part of the gut. So it's eating up the gut lining. It can't do the job, and then the poop is just flipping and flopping all around there, and it's just coming out like whatever. So apparently this yogurt got probiotics in it. It's got the extra bacteria that I can just fix up the community in there, because it is a community of gut bacteria. It's a whole civilization. So,
well, they say like the yogurt Activa.
Yeah.
That's a really good. Any like probiotic is really good. Intermittent fasting helps.
Already that I'm doing. I'm not eating.
Yeah, to me it's 12 to 12. If it's not within that time frame, I don't eat.
That's good. Keep it tight. Yeah, 12 to 12. You do 12. I aim for 16 every day, and sometimes it'll go to 14. But generally, I get 16 a day. At least 4 times a week, I'm getting a solid 16. So yeah, that's giving a rest, I feel like. And then my roommate was saying, do the yogurt on empty stomach. So I'm going to try that. And anyone here who's suffering from ulcerative colitis, try that out. But yeah, anything else you want to tell us about this? Listen, you're going to have to come back next week or something to talk about this jail thing. Like, what a side story. So I was in jail. I was like, holy shit. But that'll be next week. Let's save it. I was in there for
a while, and it was my first and only time. And I will tell you, it was crazy.
That's wild, dude.
And I was there for like a good 5 years for a fight.
That's, well,
Massachusetts.
Listen, thank God that you are out
Praise
now.
God.
I don't know if y'all heard that.
Praise be to Allah and to everyone.
You are free, brother. You are free. You are free. Take a bow. You're out there on the balcony. Yes. I survived. Thanks, man. Thanks for coming, homie. There's another guy waiting, so we're gonna let someone else on. But dude, that was great chatting with you about that. I really need to talk to people. It is like counseling for me. It's like, okay, other people are going through it. It's very normal. Like, we do as a collective need to figure something out for it, because
that was the whole thing. When you first said, "Oh, I have ulcerative colitis," I was like, "Holy crap! I gotta tell him. Tell him."
Sick, dude. Thanks for coming, man. You are loved, brother.
Definitely. I'll see you in the chat room.
Sick. Thanks, man. Peace. David Dumlow.